But I'm going to talk you through the Opulents first. I'm going to talk you through these, and then we're going to make a really lovely, classy card, thank you card, using our Surfaces range. So let's get started. If we come in a bit closer, I've taken the front of the packaging out here because it's got samples of each of the surfaces you get within these packs here. So they're all the same, but in different colours here. We've got this glitter surface, which is really lovely. We have a matte metallic type, brushed metal. The pearl is fantastic, it's really lovely and tactile. And then we've got the mirror there, which is a sort of just a shiny surface. Really, really lovely. And that is consistent throughout the whole range here. So we've got the gold here. Let me just pick this up. And if I just move it around in the light, you can actually see the different effects there that you get. And the fact that they're all sort of subtly different makes them really lovely to work with in one make, because it all gets tied in together. There we are. The ivory here, it's very slightly different because it's not, we don't have the metallic ones, but we do have, so we've got the glittery one here. This one's called Soft Touch, which is like a really nice, subtle kind of ivory cardstock. This one here is the brushed pearl, which I will be using today. Oh no, actually I'm going to be using the pearl here. So this is brushed pearl, and then we've got the pearl here, and then as in the others we've got the mirror there. And then I'll also be using this today. I'm going to be using the glitter from our silver opulent range. Okay, so that is enough at the minute about these opulents, but I'm going to talk to you about the texture roll here, which is really amazing stuff. I've pre-scrunched some here, so let me show you how it comes. I'll take out the rose gold one. So it comes nice and smooth like this, cuts with Thinlit dies, which is really lovely. You can stitch it. It doesn't rip when you're trying to rip it, or at least it doesn't rip easily. So it's just really kind of durable, stretchy stuff, which means when you emboss it with one of our 3D embossing folders, you get such a detailed emboss, which I'll show you later on. So I've pre-scrunched this one. I just gave it a spray with water, and then I've scrunched it all up, and you can see because it's so durable, it gives a leathery effect there, and that's great for backing journals and that sort of thing there. So, but as I say, you can cut it with Thinlit dies, which is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be cutting it with quite a detailed Thinlit die, which is going to be one of the elements here from the wedding wreath set in chapter 2. So I'm going to move on to my card maker now, and we're going to use some of these materials here that I've pre-cut. I will switch on my glue gun just while I start with the 3D embossing bit. So I've taken, it is from the ivory range of the opulents here, the pearl, and I've used this because it's the lightest one, and I'm putting it on a white card background. But can you see that effect there? If I just kind of angle it towards the sun, it's got a really nice, classy effect. It's kind of just slightly shiny, but still matte, which is lovely. And I'm going to be using the Tim Holtz 3D Rose embossing folder. So this is the sort of image on the front. Let me just show you the inside and the detail there. If you watched my last video, there was a lot of information about impresslets and embossing folders there. So if you want to know about embossing folders, maybe go and have a look at that video. But I'm just going to be showing you how we go about embossing now. So I'm going to choose an area, and I'm going to put so I want this kind of area here, which is another good thing about these embossing folders. You can kind of frame it how you like. I'm going to put this one here, and then I'll just make sure that I've got it angled right. So I'm going to use this side and close the embossing folder, and then we need to take off the top adapter from the multi-purpose platform, put it through like this, one cutting plate, and then through the machine there. So in my last video I talked about putting it 3 times through the machine. One thing I would say about this, the surfaces, the material they're made from has got slightly more give. in it, so you get a really nice detailed emboss, and I'll show you that now. I'll just put my machine back together for when I'm die cutting. There we are. And I'll just, oh, there we go, came out there. Now just look at that effect. You can see how well that's embossed, and it hasn't torn or anything like that it can with normal cardstock, because it's a bit more rigid, but this has got some more give, which gives you the detail in the emboss there. So I'm going to be using this as a card front. I'm also going to cut, so I will show you an example now of how we cut this texture roll here. Now I've crinkled it all up, but it's still going to cut perfectly, and as it flattens out when you cut it with the die, it still keeps some of that wrinkled effect there. So I'm just going to choose some of the ends here, because I'm not going to use this whole thing. I'll choose that end there. And I'll just put it twice through so it's back on my end, but once through the machine is enough with the texture roll. So I will be using this bit here. It's great, this stuff, because you don't have to worry about it tearing as you're pulling it off, because it's just such durable material. It's like magic that it still cuts with a Thinlit, which is great. Just use my die pick to get rid of some of those little bits. And you know what? I've pre-cut some of these, so I won't show you me putting it through the machine again, because I'll be spending a lot of time just getting some of those detailed bits out. I will show you instead how we're going to use some of this. This is the glitter card from the silver cardstock there. All sparkly. It's lovely stuff, and I'm going to be taking some more of the elements out of the wedding wreath die set. So I'll cut 2 of these. My glue gun is ready already. Great. Heats up nice and quickly, the glue gun. So this is one of the rose elements, but I'm just cutting it in this silver cardstock from the Opulent set. So there is one. Okay, and I'll just show one, and then I'll do my old, here's one I made earlier. And with this, you just curl it around with our tweezers. It's difficult trying to keep it still whilst it's curling, but you'll get the idea. And we're done. So you can let it unravel a little bit, depending on what size you want that rose there, let it unravel. And then I'm just going to give a little blob of glue with the glue gun. I love the precision of this glue gun as well. It seems to heat it up with the perfect sort of intensity so that the glue is liquid enough but then cools perfectly. So there we go, we've got these roses here. And I've got one that I made earlier here, but it's a slightly smaller one. I think the size difference is lovely. Then, so what I've done here is I've cut these parts of the wedding wreath so that when I layer them up with these, it's going to make a kind of S shape like this. So it's going to, just look from above there, I'm going to make it so it comes round like so. And you can see there it's already looking really lovely and classy. Okay, so I'm going to use the glue gun. I'll get these stuck down. Just a tiny little blob will do it. The stand is so handy to have. And I love the fact that it's just coming off the edge of that middle sentiment there. And then this part here, just add another little dab of glue and then just hold that on top, and then in seconds that glue's dry. I'm just thinking about making room for my sentiment because I've I've printed, so I've stamped using one of our chapter 1 stamping sets there, the celebration phrases, and I've kept room for it here, so I'm just going to glue these on. There's one there, and another one here, just together. That looks fantastic. And then my little tiny thank you element, which I'll be sticking on top. And then that's also, I've used the same pearl card there to stick that on. There we go, you can see that. And then all I'm going to do, a bit more foam tape. I'm just going to put this on the front of my white card. Again, we'll peel it off. And that's it. So using that foam tape adds a little bit of dimension there. And just look at that. It's just such a nice, classy make there. Really subtle. The subtle change in the colours there, from the white to the just off-white that we get with the Opulence pack is lovely. And I would just love to receive something like this. And I'd love to send something like this, maybe to a key worker or someone, you know, working for the NHS at the minute. So that's it from me. I hope you've really enjoyed the video. So go online, have a look at our whole Surfaces range because it's really exciting. We do have some deals on our website at the moment, so make sure you check those out. And thank you very much for watching.